Hey guys, thanks for watching. I'm Rhett here with Section 8 Real Estate Investing. I know I've been throwing a lot of videos at you. We got another huge one today, incredibly important, and it's going to determine if you are going to be successful or not. And that's building a team, okay? Now, me personally, I have portfolios all over the place, right? And I need three important pieces, okay, to make sure that everything goes swimmingly in other states, okay? I'm an out-of-state investor, I'm an in-state investor, like a lot of you guys who wanna grow these huge portfolios, right? Some of you wanna do them with straight cash, a lot of you wanna do them with Section 8 properties. It doesn't matter what, you're trying to get doors, right? You're trying to get properties. You know that the key to long-term wealth is passive income. You wanna grab as many of these rental properties as possible. How do you do that, right? You need a team, and you need a team you can trust, and that is hard, okay? Now, there are some pretty good areas that you can check and find some of these people, right? There's some good resources you can use. Bigger Pockets is a huge one, right? Go on some of Bigger Pockets forums, ask some questions, search forums for people, right, to use. Use Google reviews, use the Better Business Bureau. You guys have the beauty of the internet at your fingers, use it, okay? The more research you do on the front end, I swear to you, is gonna save you money, because one mistake in any of these categories can really cost you a ton of money, all right? So number one, you need a realtor, okay? When you're buying, especially if you're buying out of state, you need a realtor that you can trust, and you need a realtor that knows what he's talking about, or what she's talking about, okay? For example, if you're buying Section 8 properties out of state, okay, and you're going after an agent who specializes in luxury, high-end homes, guess what? They're probably not even gonna go into some of these houses, especially if they're distressed. If you're buying distressed property, foreclosures. When I started out in Section 8 property, all I bought was foreclosures because it was all that I could afford at the time. I couldn't afford to pay the premium on already cash flowing properties. So I would go in and try to buy houses for as cheap as possible. I'd go in houses that hadn't been occupied in years. Some that windows have been open for years. You know what happens when a window's been open in a house for a couple of years? You don't want to know. I have a piece of advice for you. Don't buy a house that's had a window open for a couple of years, okay? So, right, you need a realtor that's going to go into some of the areas that you want, okay? Now, I know some of you guys that are looking to buy in Section 8, you're trying to look in some areas that maybe aren't as good, right, where you can still get a pretty high cap return on some of those investments. You need to get a realtor that knows foreclosures, that knows how to deal with bank agents, because some of them are tough. You need to know you need a guy or a girl that knows the areas, okay? You need to know how the appreciation works, right? And most importantly, that feels not totally unsafe going to some of these properties, okay? They need to know what they're talking about, right? And you need to be able to trust them. I know some of you guys, one of the biggest issues is, okay, I see a property on Zillow that I like that's in my price range, right? But I need somebody to go in and film it for me. I'm on, you're going on Facebook groups trying to find somebody to pay $50 to go in and take pictures and videos. Find a realtor that will do that for you, okay? That is incredibly important for you, and their honest opinion is gonna give them more business. If they tell you a house is beautiful and you buy it and it's crap, you're not gonna use them again. If they tell you they go in a house and it's crap and they tell you it's crap and they save you, you're probably gonna use them again, right? So find a good realtor, talk to other investors in that area, okay? Go online, talk to people, make phone calls, right? Find the best realtor that's gonna meet your investment goals, okay? Contractors, this is a huge one, right? You need to talk to other investors here, because depending on where you're investing, some contractors are not even close to as good as other ones, right? Some will save you, some will kill you. Some will take all your money and run. I've had it all happen to me. I'm fortunate enough to have gone through so many that I have the best right now, okay? So this is a huge one, all right? You need to check references. You need to make phone calls. Do not trust anybody until they show you what they're doing. You need pictures. You need pictures before, you need pictures after, right? Now it's on you too. You need to make sure you release money on time and pay people the right way, but pay them for work that's done. If something smells fishy to you, it's fishy. Kick them off the job, right? Pay for work that's being done up until a certain point, and that's that. Okay, do not get too in over your head, because unfortunately the world we live in, people will take advantage of you, especially being an out-of-state investor where they can lie to you and not tell you the truth. If there's excuses as to why they're not sending you pictures, There's probably a reason, okay? Listen to that sixth sense that you have, that real estate sixth sense that you guys have in your minds, because it's probably right, all right, okay? So, contractor's a huge one. Most of you guys, I don't even have to tell you that. Property management. Now, property management is one of the most overlooked areas of real estate investing, I feel, because not a lot of people talk about it, and being an out-of-state investor, it's probably the most important part of your team, right? Now, my property management companies, I've been through, my goodness, in the past 3 years, I've been through in 3 different states. I've been through probably 8, and that's because I'm a pain in the ass, okay? You know, property management companies I hold to a very, very high standard, right? Like I do to myself, like I do to everybody in my life, like I hope that you do, okay? And a lot of times property management companies just don't cut it for me, right? I expect this. I expect a high level of management. Now, you want to be a pain in the ass, and being a pain in the ass is a good thing because it's your money, right? If you don't care, they're not going to care. If you're emailing them every week, calling them every week, dealing with them every single week, they're going to know, because in real estate, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, okay? Your property is going to be taken care of, right? A lot of these management companies, you guys are going to big management companies, 1,000 properties, 2,000 properties, 500 properties, right? And you're just a drop in the, you're a needle in the haystack, right? You're one of hundreds. Why is someone going to pay more attention to your property than the other ones, right? You also have these management companies that, when it comes to Section 8, they might have 200 of their own Section 8 properties. And you're asking them to fill your property when they're only going to be receiving 10% of your rent every month. They're obviously going to fill their property before they do yours, right, with a better tenant, because they'd rather that $1,000 a month instead of that $100 a month, which is 10% of your 1,000. So just keep that in mind, okay? This is a really tough one. Another reason why it's so hard is because you want a good representative, right? Because when you have a tenant in a property, this is who the tenant deals with. You want to make sure your property management company uses software that's easy to pay rent every single month. You don't want tenants, you know, not being able to pay rent because they can't figure out how to use the portal to pay rent every single month, right? That's very important, and people don't think about that, but that is a common thing that's happened to me multiple times, okay? Especially in some of these properties that you acquire that have long-term tenants that are, you know, 60, 70, in their mid-70s, right, who aren't that good with the computers. They're not like you or me, and they're not able to do stuff as easily as we do, okay? Also, if there's a problem, right, for example, if there's no heat in a unit, okay, and the heating goes out, and you have a tenant that's calling, and it's getting into those winter months, it's freezing cold. You have a tenant calling the management company over and over and over again, and nobody's getting back to them, and, you know, God forbid somebody gets hurt because it's too cold, and somebody, you know, it's dangerous. Guess who gets sued? You do, not the management company, okay? You're the owner of the property. You need somebody that's responsive. You need somebody that cares, right? You need somebody that has a high gas level, okay? Gas means give a shit. You need somebody with a high give a shit level, okay? Especially for your properties. This is incredibly, incredibly important. You want to know when something happens, when it happens, right? Now, property management is supposed to take care of all the problems, okay? They're the first line of defense. You're the last line of defense. But that doesn't mean that it's their properties and they're doing everything. You need to be kept in the loop. As soon as you become lazy and you're out of that loop, you take your property and hand it off, all the money that you've put in and that you've spent is now in their hands. They have a huge responsibility. Hold them accountable, okay? Hold them accountable. There's too many property management companies out there that stink. Make sure you don't get a stinky one. Do your research, go on Bigger Pockets, see who other investors have used, because I can tell you for one, I have lost a lot of money on bad property management companies, okay? I'm happy with the one that I have now, but it took me a long time, okay, to find the management company that I like, all right? So guys, build your team. It's based on trust. Get proof, get pictures when it comes to contractors, get video proof on houses that you might not be able to see, and be a pain in the ass with your property management company, okay? It's your money. Don't forget, guys, subscribe, like, drop your comments below. If you have questions, jot them down. I'll be happy to answer them, and if they're great questions, which a lot of you guys have and have been posting, I will make videos about them. All right, guys? Thanks for your time, and be well.